Hello everyone, welcome to eTech Facebook Live Fridays. I'm Tech Bob and today we're going to be reviewing the Testbox S200. This is a great product to use if you find yourself needing to test screens, whether they be new screens that are in your inventory to use on customer repairs or buyback screens that you're going to sell, sending back to us or another supplier. But just to get started, I'm going to show you what the Testbox comes with, how to test a couple screens, just run through a couple of quick features, and I'll show you where you can find this on our website as well. So to get started, this is the test box right here. I'm going to take it out of its box. This out. A little stuck in there. There you go. Test box out. It does come with the charging brick and the cable, which I already have plugged up over here. I think this one was dead, so I had the cable already out. It does have an internal battery, so you don't need to have it plugged in all the time. But I would recommend having it plugged in, that way it doesn't die on you and it's constantly being charged. So here is the test box. Like I said, it comes with the cable and the block. What it does not come with is the cables needed to test different screens. These are sold individually, so right here I have the iPhone 10 cable and I have the iPhone 7 Plus cable. And the cool thing about this test box is it is universal to about 13 different models, if I'm not mistaken, 6S through 12 series. So I think that totals to about 13 models, or maybe a little bit more. But quick way to use it, super easy. I'm going to plug the cable in right here just to make sure it is turned on. I'm going to start with the 7 Plus first. I'm going to take the 7 Plus test cable out of the packaging here. I'm going to plug the cable in here. I'm going to turn it on, which it'll blink there for a second. Actually, I'm going to hold it. Plug the screen in. There we go. So once the tester flex is plugged in, you have a screen plugged in. You use the on and off button to toggle the screen being lit up or darkened. So I'm going to light it up, and then up and down basically cycles through your different screens. So we have a white screen, a red screen, a green screen. These different color screens are great for seeing if the screen has any type of pressure points in it or discoloration. Sometimes those things will show up on a certain color, but not all colors. So it's good to cycle through everything. There's a blue screen, darker like gray screen. This has a gradient from dark to light or dark to light, so you can see if in any part of it that there's again a bright spot or a dead pixel. Here's another, just center dark, outside white. This is just a standard like iPhone background color. And this one right here is actually a interactive test, so it is testing the touch. So you start in this top left corner and you go all the way around and it turns green wherever it registers. The goal is to get the entire thing green on the outside and just make sure it touches everything. Now, if you hold the mode button, it'll switch to a different touch version. So this one, it actually traces wherever you touch. So if you want to make sure that where it's heavily damaged, there's not a dead spot. You can see that it actually touches everywhere, but that's testing the touch. So when it comes to testing your screens, the two big things you're looking for are, one, making sure that the image or the display doesn't have any imperfections in it, so no bright spots, no pressure points, discoloration, bleeding, anything like that. And the second thing is you want to make sure that your touch fully functions, because if the touch does not fully function, then obviously if it is a new part, you're not going to be able to fully use that on your phone or a customer's phone. And if it's a buyback screen, buybacks will only get credit if the touch is fully functional and the LCD itself is not damaged, or in some cases OLED, depending on the model that you're working with. But again, that's just a quick test of the iPhone 7 Plus. So I can through all that. I'm going to hit the power button, take that off. I'm going to unplug the screen. Here, let me use a spudger to avoid damaging the cables. Pull that off. I'm going to unplug this tester flex. I'm going to grab my iPhone 10 Flex, and this will show you how quickly you can switch between testing different models as opposed to the tried and true, which there's nothing wrong with this. And this is the way we'll test some parts as well, as we'll use the actual devices, which that's perfectly fine. The only problem is it's expensive since you have to have a phone per model. And two, if you damage the phone, it gets very expensive very fast. If the cable gets damaged, worst case you replace the cable, and I believe the cables retail for around $450 a piece, so that's a lot cheaper to replace versus replacing the entire phone. So let me see. Might have to unplug this real quick. Sometimes you'd have to plug in and unplug the cables just to make sure it registers right. I'm gonna unplug this whole thing. All right. Back in. There we go. Plug this back in. There we go. So yeah, if you ever run into an issue with it not coming back on, the tried and true turn it off and turn it back on will always work. Sometimes the software just gets a little stuck, but real quick fix to get through there. So now I have an iPhone 10 screen on here. This is an OLED. So again, that shows you, I just tested an LCD over here. This is an OLED based screen. Same type of test. We're going to cycle through all the colors. This is another background image. This is the touch version where it's checking to see the trace. And if I hold the mode button again, it'll switch over to the green sort of highlight color. Again, going around the entire edge. There we go. That's touch. Cycle through. Yep, those are all the colors. So again, really cool tool if you don't have one already. When people ask us, what do you recommend to use when you're testing screens? Our default answer has usually been just the phone itself, because the phone's the most accurate. The reason we had said that in the past is we hadn't really found a test machine like this that was stable enough to trust to basically say if a screen is good or bad, because you don't want a machine like this to give you false defectives where the screen is fine but the machine is causing issues with the part, or the other way around where it's not showing you where there's something wrong with the part. Those would be bad, right? So this right here is a stable version of that type of product. We've been using it probably for at least 6 months now in our buyback and RMA department. We'll interchange this with phones. If we run into an issue with this part on this box, we'll also test it on a phone just to make sure that we have 100% accuracy. But I would say 99% of the time, whenever we do that, the test box was accurate in its testing. So again, great tool to pick up if you don't have already. It really comes in handy for testing parts, like I mentioned, broken screens that are pulled off and sent back as a broken screen recycle, or new parts. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to switch my stream over to my screen on this side, and I'm on our website. Quickest way to find this test box and all the other cables is in our categories. So if you go to Tools and Supplies and then New Tools, click on that. So it's right here at the top. The test box retails for $184.99, and then each of the cables, they're around $4 to $5 a piece, depending on the model. Sometimes the newer models, I believe, are a little more expensive. So I would recommend having at least a set of each of the cables. If there's certain models that you don't work on or don't test, then obviously don't get that cable, but at least pick up the ones that you're going to be using. Let me see what else with this test box. I mentioned it's rechargeable battery. I think that's it with the test box. If you have any questions related to the product, or you still are on the fence about it, feel free to call our tech support team, and I can definitely help with that, answer any questions you may have. I'm going to go back to the main page, because as a final point with today's stream, I did want to mention the promotion we have going on right now, or the contest actually. We do have a promotion for a free Ford blue light laser. You can enter to win by clicking here on the link. It's just a quick form that you fill out, and then some couple quick tasks. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then some data on your side. But definitely worth filling out, because the laser, if you're not doing backglass repair already, it's a very low cost per repair, at least repair, and the machine is the biggest investment you have to make to get started. So why not win one for free? I will be announcing the winner on next week's Facebook live stream. We're also going to post it on our Facebook just in case anyone misses the live stream. But definitely enter now. It's in the last about week or so to get started. And not only do you get the Ford Blue Laser, you do get all the things you would need to at least do some back glass repairs. You get a couple pieces of glass, the tools needed to take the glass off. And again, it comes with our support. So it's a win-win for everyone. So if anyone has any questions related to the giveaway or the test box, like I said, feel free to give us a call. If there's anything you all would like to see on next week's stream, let us know too. Comment on this video or just send us a message on Facebook. But that's all I had for today. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see everyone on next week's stream.